Hi, guys, and welcome back again to the Lord's Table. My name is Samantha, and the Lord's Table is a channel where we get to be real, ladies of real destiny, where we talk to business women, we talk about faith, we talk about all sorts of things, encouraging each other, building relationships with each other, sharing testimonies. And I am doing a series of my story and Naked but Free. Naked and Free is talking about when you share your testimony, when you begin to be authentic, you begin to be free in your walk. When you're free, it means you're not bound by people's thoughts. You're not bound by what so and so is going to say, what so and so is going to do. You're not moved by that. So I'm in that process. Thank God 2020 is when the journey started. So I'm carrying on from the last video where I shared about how important it is to have a close-knit family, a close-knit friends, a group of people that you can talk to, because the fertility journey can be hard. And sometimes people want to help, but if they have not walked in that, they don't really understand, which is one of the main reasons why I'm sharing this. I mentor a few women and a few girls, and we are in a group where we pray together. So I had a few ladies, especially this one particular lady. They had been trying for a baby for 5 years, and when she spoke about it, I was at 10 years in waiting. I then shared, people would talk to her and she still wouldn't get it. They just don't get it. They have children. But when I spoke to her and I said, Mummy, which is what we address each other as, said, Mummy, do you realize that there is a reason and there is a purpose for everything? And she just laughed. Oh, well, I know, but people, you don't understand. People don't understand. And I say to her, let me just catch you right there. How long have you been waiting for the fruit of the womb? It's been 5 years. And she started crying. You've been trying for so long. I'm tired. I'm like, I said, I get it. She looked at me. I get it. She still didn't get what I was saying and said, I've been waiting for 10 years. She looked at me. She said, what? Mommy? I said, yes. 10 years. And then she wept. She wept even more. How have you been doing it 10 years and all that? And I explained, it's been difficult. And at 5 years, which is about the time that my husband shook me and told me to get up and wake up from all this, oh God. No, it was right about that. I said, it hasn't been easy. I explained to her, the journey has been hard and it still is hard. But what I'm saying is, the reason I come on and the reason why I believe the Lord laid on my heart, laid on our hearts to do the Lord's table is being real. Because when somebody gets to hear a real story of somebody that has walked in a path that they are walking or in a path that they're trying to walk on, it becomes real, it becomes genuine, it becomes authentic to them. They can say, she understands me because she's gone through what I'm going through. She understands me because, we're going through the same thing. She's walked the path that I want to walk in as a businesswoman. So I'm sure she gets it. She can mentor me. She can train me. This is why it is important for me to share my story. My story, as embarrassing as it might be, so many people don't know some of the things that I'm sharing here. Some that thought we're friends, some that thought they knew me, are going to know me for the first time here as I become naked, authentic, and true to myself. I'm not being true to anybody, but to myself. So the first thing that I'm going to keep drumming in, your mental health is important. Get a close-knit friends. Get a counselor. Can I tell you? My sister is a counselor, but obviously she cannot counsel me in a professional way. But I had an amazing counselor in 2020. We spoke through a lot of things. And one thing that she spoke to me about, she's also a Christian woman and a counselor. She said to me, Samantha, this journey, yes, we are believing God, and I'm a woman of faith. God is going to do it for you. You're going to have as many babies as you want. But it is important for you to grieve. Somebody catch that. It is important for you to grieve. Because I had explained to her that I wanted to be a mother by the age of 21. 25, 23, sorry. But it hadn't happened. And at 39, when I started seeing her, that's what she said, you have to grieve. I said, what do you mean? And I explained before I had miscarriages and all sorts. Hi guys, I'm back. Take 2. I'm going to mix the first part and the second part together of this video. I got distracted, the phone rang. So I was in the middle of sharing that my counselor then said, you have to grieve, Samantha. I didn't get it at first because you, knowing my story, you wanted to be a mother at a certain age, at 23. And now you're 39. You're going to be 40. And that waiting process, it's something that you lost. And not only are you grieving for that time, you're grieving for the babies that you've lost in between. That helped me a lot. I wept. I really wept. I needed to hear that it's okay for me to grieve. God, I know I'm waiting on you and I trust you. But for me as a person, this is what I wanted. It may not have been in alignment with what you have for me. But God is fine with that. We are allowed to have what we desire. We are allowed to ask him of anything. But obviously, he's going to fulfill those that are in alignment with him. So I found that very empowering when she told me that. I grieved. And to this day, when I think about it, I just cry if I have to. But at the same time, I still have so much strength and so much faith in that God is going to do it. So what I'm saying is get into a community of friends that will stand with you, pray with you. Keep your mental health. Make sure you are mentally healthy. Get a counselor, like I said, if you must. Get somebody to talk to who is neutral. That's why I went with a counselor. I needed somebody who is not, who neither knows my husband, who doesn't even know me, who has no history with me. And it was amazing to talk to her. And yes, I will get to speak to her again. So I will share another part of my story, my journey. We got blessed with a little girl. Yes. God blessed us with a little girl in 2017. And it was amazing. I became a mom. My husband became a dad. We loved her with everything, with every fiber of my being. She was mine. I was overprotective. Yes, she was my baby. I'd been waiting for so long. And here she is, holding her, tiny as she was. Amazing. And I'm saying she. It is still raw. This is 2020 and it hasn't been a year since we lost our little girl. Just before she turned 4. And I will share the story of you begin to wonder and you begin I'm sorry. You begin to wonder and you begin to say, God, you get to that place once again, the place where you've moved from, where you say, God, why me? You somehow come back to that place and you ask God, God, why me? Why me? But like I say, there's a growing. I'm not grown, I'm growing as a grown woman, as a growing woman of faith. I then said, yeah, okay, fine. It took a while. If not me, then who? But as painful as it is, having waited all these years, only for you to take her away again. And no, somebody may be wondering, no, I didn't give birth. I'm still waiting to bring forth my own. from my womb, if that's what you're wondering. The story about how my baby girl came into, her name is Nandi. Ariella, I named her, Lioness of God. And Nandipa, you've given us, she was named by my mother. She came into our life, a little ray of sunshine. Yes, August 2017. And from there we loved her. And this story, I will share more on it when I share about her. So we had her, God pacified us for the 3 and a bit years with her in our lives. We became people. What am I saying? You were people already, somebody's wondering. We became people. Because, like my friend said to me in in one of my videos, I want to chill out with people that are mothers. You know, people would look at me and my husband in a strange way because they would come to dues, they would come to church with their children, and it's just the two of us. But when our little girl came into picture, we had titles. Because in our culture, elderly people are called by their first names. We are called auntie, uncle, or so forth. But, you know, around people we had a title. We became mother, we became father. So in Zimbabwe, we say my Ningi. So it's my Nandi, Baba Nandi, my Rudo, my Baba Rudo, meaning Rudo's mom, Rudo's dad, Nandi's mom, Nandi's dad. That's how we were addressed. So it was beautiful to be called that. Yes, even before that, before Nandi came into our lives, I had a dream years ago. And God, in the dream, the Lord said to me, Samantha, you will have a son and you will name him Joshua. So for years, I told my family, even at church family, my own family, they all called me my Joshua. Joshua's mom. And that was it. We declared and we called Joshua into being. So that had always been the case. But now, Joshua, because Joshua was calling those things that be not as though they were. But now I had somebody that I could hold. She was, oh gosh, she was amazing. And it was amazing feeling. It just confirmed the thing that I've always wanted, that I am a mother indeed. So she came to us and we loved her. We embraced her. So the journey with her was super amazing and super sad at the same time. We got to, she was found. One of the young girls that we mentor at Mami is the ministry that I'm a founder of. She was at a church conference, at a youth conference, and right in the rural areas of Zimbabwe. And what happened was one of the little boys went into the toilets, Blair toilets, which are these non-flushable toilets. If you come from Africa, you know what I mean. So you don't flush, but they're like, you would call them pit latrines. They got a pit under there. And then he heard a baby cry. And guess what? That was my little girl. And so this girl was right there. And she rang. She goes, Mommy, please pray. She rang me. And then she says, please pray. There's a baby that's been found in the toilet. She's still alive. She was crying, a very weak cry, and she's caked in poop. I wept. I literally cried. Said, but God, why? Here I am, dying inside to hold my own. And here is somebody throwing in the dirt. I cried. I called on to leadership. I called on to intercessors, and we prayed. We prayed. They rushed to the hospital, and I said to this girl, you're not leaving that place. Keep an eye on that. get somebody. So thank goodness her mother lived in the area. So when she had to leave to go back to the city, she told her mum, we asked her, let your mum, can she be our point of contact? Whew. So that night, I'm back. I go ahead and back again. Told you I digress. So that same night, that same day that they found her, they rushed her to the hospital, and they thought it was a boy. So she called me, "Oh, mommy, it's a little boy. She's alive, and she's okay." Because in the pit latrines there's maggots. Her skin had been, the little maggots had been eating at her skin, so she had tiny little holies and all that. Oh, it was horrible. But the doctors and the nurses are marveled at the fact that she was crying her little lungs out, but no poop or dirt got into her mouth. No poop or dirt got into her ears, her eyes, or her nose. But she was just caked in it. They had to wash her. And they thought it was a boy at first. And then, okay, following day, I'm fast forwarding, found out it was a girl. So the following day, we quickly rushed together, and part of the ministry, my sister-in-law is in there. I love her to bits. We rushed together. She had just had babies as well. She had twins, and the babies were now growing. So she had little hand-me-downs and stuff. So we got things together. We bought milk. So from day one, we started looking after this little girl. We spoke to social services. I would send money, would buy bottles, we made a package, we did all sorts. And because we were a registered charity organization, we said, can we take her on as a charity? And we will have somebody look after her. Because I needed time to talk to my husband. As much, if I was single and I just did it, this is another tip, ladies, don't just do things when you're married. Think of your partner. It's always important to talk things together. So I could have rushed and I could have done anything if I was single, which is fine. But I had to think of my husband. So I thought of a way. We get her quickly as Mothers on Ministry Mission for Yeshua, and we look after her as a registered organization. They wouldn't say no. And no, they didn't say no. I involved my lawyer friend. We looked at things, and yes, they said, okay, we'll have to go through processes. They went through process to find out if anybody would claim their child, but nobody claimed her. Nobody knew where she came from or what happened. So for 2 months, we were looking after her while she was in the hospital. So I can tell more about that. If you want me, write in the comment below if you want me to share the whole process of that. So she stayed in the hospital 2 months, and they'd said, oh, we're giving her to you. So I got a mother who is part of the ministry who would look after her. So we bought things, we were getting all ready and all excited. And in the 3rd month, here we are all prepared and all ready. Oh yeah, so within the 1st month, I told my husband about her. My husband was like, no, I can't do that. He said no. I cried. My auntie held me. My sister was like, I cried. But he can't. He said no. But can I tell you, his no was not a no. He was scared. He was terrified. He wanted this so much, but he was terrified. So a few weeks down the line, so I explained to him, it's fine. His sister stood with me, and his sister said to me, she set me down. She says, you know what, Samantha? I know in your family, from what you've mentioned and what I know, your grandmother used to adopt, and look after even orphans and stuff. In our family, this is new. We've never had anybody adopt. In as much as our parents would look after relatives' children, that's different. This is not a relative. This is somebody different. So it's a bit, I think he's being cautious of what would the family say? What will father say? What will people say? So he's looking at it from that angle. And being the only boy, he has to really think about those things. So my sister-in-law really did make me feel a lot better. And she was always there. Like I mentioned, she was always there, providing, doing things. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do. God just aligns things for you. So she was amazing. So this foster mom was brilliant and she was ready. So when my husband said no, my sister-in-law said, don't worry about it. He'll come round. We'll pray. And then a couple of weeks or 3 weeks or so later, he said to me, I think, let's talk. He says, I think I was terrified. He just explained, I've never done this and we've never spoken about this. And I said, we never spoke about adopting. No. But this is what it is. And this is what God has done. God has brought us a child. She has no history. She's not known where she's from and all that. So, babe, let's grab it. And then he says, yeah, let's go for it. I was scared because none in my family have done it. So he, fast forward, he just explained his feelings. And can I tell you, married couples, when we listen to each other, it makes all things go well. Honestly, the journey that we've been on, yes, it hasn't been easy. We have had fights. I have literally taken a remote control and yacked it at him at times. I'm not proud of those moments. But yes, we will fight. But we get to learn. Let's get to learn. Sorry, I got a tiny bit of a fizzy in my nose. We've got to learn to listen to each other. Learn to put the other person first. So I listened to him. I was amazed how he could open up to me because I didn't force matters. I didn't even get upset that he didn't. I just understood him. And then fast forward, we said, yes, we want the baby. We started preparing everything. Social services talking to us, but the social worker working with us was leaving. So she said, please, fast forward, everything went to a doctor's, got things that were needed. We sorted everything and we sent things forward for that we get the foster mom to take her. And the blow came at month 3. Oh, hi, Samantha, an email from a social worker. It's so sad. I know because you're abroad, it's an international adoption. We sooner like local people, and we found a local couple. This local couple will take the young girl. That was a blow to me. So my friend, who's a lawyer, said, but they can't do that. They gave us all hope. They gave us all these things, and now it's just being taken away from us. And we cried. I cried and said, but God, why? Why would you bring a carrot and dangle it right in front of me like, no, oh, there you go, darling, you take it. Why, God? It didn't make sense. I cried. And I said, okay. And then all I could say to her, I remember my email, I said, I honestly pray that this couple will look after her. And I honestly pray that they have the right heart. And I pray that she'll have a long life and a life that God has made for her. Yes, I'm sad, but I pray that God will provide even for this couple to look after her. And the social worker was like, wow, thank you for the prayer and yeah, for the child. You really loved her, didn't you? And I said, yeah, from day one, I've been looking after her. And then 2 weeks later, so the baby was taken. 2 weeks later, she wrote to me. Hi, Samantha. I hope I find you well. Are you still interested in adopting? And said, yeah. What do you mean? Your little girl is back. Pardon? She's back. And she says, you must have been praying really hard. The God you serve loves you so much. That couple brought the baby back. I don't know whether they misunderstood each other or whatever, but they brought her back and she's here if you're ready. And if you want her, because of us and because we let you down, we're going to jump a lot of hoops so you can get the baby as fast as next week. Said, but you don't have to tell me twice. We coming. The baby's coming home. Got all the things ready, because we'd already bought stuff, got things bought more as the foster mother to go. So the foster mother, when she had her daughter, she only had a daughter who was in her late teens. And she was also excited because she'd only been an only child, so she would have a little sister as well. The foster mother went and they went to get the baby and we had her come home. from 3 months. And that's how we got our baby. But there's a lot more sad news. So if you want to know more about this journey, let me know. And a lot of people that are going to watch, I know I have friends and I have family that didn't know that my little girl was adopted. Yeah. It may be your first time to hear this. I'm sorry I didn't tell you if that's what you want to hear. But there was no need. I loved her. She was mine. I still love her from heaven. Well, in heaven where she is. I still love her, but was there a reason why I should tell you that she was adopted? Was there a reason I should publicize? Is there a reason one should publicize? There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to say so. But in my case, she had no history. I was not worried about anybody to come and claim her because there was nobody. She was a little angel sent from above to my husband and I. And yeah, family and some friends actually found out that she was adopted when she passed away. During her funeral, some were making speeches, and my mom's beautiful speech that, baby girl, even though you didn't carry her. And then some people were like, what? Yeah, even though you didn't carry her, she was your baby. So that's how people got to know. And so 2021 that is why I didn't do any content about being naked and free in 2021, because my world came crumbling down. I'm still trying to get myself together, because it will be a year in May after we'd lost our baby. But I know that the God that I serve is faithful. The God that I serve will see us through. He will see me through. And I know soon, you watching with me, you following my story and my journey, you will celebrate with me, and I with you. You are waiting. Keep waiting is what I can say. And you're waiting. God will do it for you. So in my next video, I don't know what I'm going to share. I talk a lot, as you know. I don't know what story I'm going to share. But what helps me is if you can comment below, or if you can say and let me know what you want to hear of my story. If you have questions, let me know, and then I can come on, make videos that will give me, because there's a whole lot, that will give me a way forward on what content you want to see and what you want to hear. So this is where I am. So I will share more on the next step after my daughter's passing, her birthday. I then started something in her memory, and I will share more on the difficult journey that we faced with Nandi. So I'll be sharing more about Nandi, and yeah, so that is what it is. I'm a mom. Yes, I became a mom in a way that I did not know. So I'm going to tell you and encourage you, as scripture says, his ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. So let's trust God. Let's trust the process. He's faithful, true, and just. You have just dined with the Lord of Lords himself, and you've dined with the Lord. God bless you. I'll see you soon.